Mike, we're a week into legalization. How's it been so far?
It's been great. I think it's one of those things you go in expecting everything will exceed your expectations. And we were amazed with how well the system's held up. There was a huge influx of orders, and we're very pleased with all the feedback we've had so far.
Has the supply been able to meet the orders so far?
No, I don't think it has, and that's not surprising. I think when you have something like this, and we kind of compare it to the iPhone, right, where the only difference is you wait for that new iPhone launch, only instead of being able to buy iPhones legally for 10 years, it's been illegal. So this isn't just consumer demand we're seeing, this is a historic moment everyone wants to be a part of. So we're seeing a very, very large amount of demand.
Now this market's so new, I'm not sure we always do a great job of distinguishing between the companies. So let's talk about Cronos. If I buy Cronos today, other than it being 30% cheaper than what it was a week ago, what do I actually end up owning?
Sure. So really when we think of ourselves, we're a global cannabinoid platform. And we aren't looking to be the farmer. So one of the things that people are confused about that Cronos does is we're actually setting up co-manufacturing, but what we're always holding at Cronos are our brands, our products, and the idea for us and why this market is so significant in Canada gives us an opportunity to take products, roll them out, make sure that everything is working the way we want them to, and then we can scale them globally across 5 continents that we have a presence now.
It's interesting because other cannabis companies we've talked to position themselves more as pharmaceutical companies. It sounds like Cronos is more about sort of branding and the IP. Who are going to be the winners? Because eventually you will see some dispersion in this industry, and it's not yet clear, and the market obviously isn't clear because everything is moving in tandem. But who are going to be the winners when this does shake out?
Well, I think that there's multiple winners. This is a much larger industry than people realize. And if you think just about the regulated distribution channels and why we don't say we're specific to pharmaceuticals, we're specific to consumer products, we're specific to cannabinoids. Our expertise is in cannabinoids, and that touches a lot of different categories. So I think you're going to see a lot of blockbuster products that are going to emerge in traditional ethical pharma, in nutraceuticals, and really in the adult use side.
Now, the volatility we mentioned a minute ago has been a real hallmark of these stocks, really since they all went public. A lot of that reflects the fact, I suppose, that there's been so much expectation baked in. You had this sort of inflection point of legalization. There was a huge run up until then. Since then, they've all come off. So I guess the question is, how do you, as the CEO of a company like Cronos, go to stage 2, if you like? You've had all this expectation. We've hit that. How do you take it on from here?
Yeah, for us, it's continuing to grow, continuing to execute. And we don't really look at the stock price day to day. When I look at numbers at the end of the day, it's really how are sales, how efficient are we in operations, are we continuing to innovate, how are our technical development plans going. So, this is still very early for us when we look at how large the market is, how many markets are coming online. And I think part of the reason that there's so much movement is people just understand more and more of what value there is to unlock. If you think just of what we're doing with ginkgo and the different cannabinoids we're going after, people today, they talk about THC and now CBD. I think you're going to start seeing people understand products with CBC, with THCV, with CBDV, and that just continues to increase the addressable market.
And what about the health concerns? Because Health Canada have been fairly sort of front-footed about saying that this will potentially cause problems, I think, in 1 in 3 adults, addiction in 1 in 10. How do you address those concerns as you build out this product?
Yeah, I think our approach really is, we're certainly going to take whatever disclosures mandated by Health Canada and put it out. And I think also what Health Canada is doing is, because we don't have as long of a developed data set, to start off very conservative, and we do work, we do trials to understand exactly what are the the effects, and we can always pare those back. But it's always important to be responsible and think of health first. Quick
question before I let you go. Your shareholder base is fairly non-traditional for obvious reasons. A lot of the large money managers probably look at the cannabis sector and think maybe we want to get in. What would your message be to those institutions checking it out? Yeah, I think that it's understanding the innovation and the disruptive potential. And when you look at Cronos and what we're doing, it's really thinking, where is this market going, not where is it today? Not just farming, it's about what is the actual disruptive products, what are the psychoactive effects, and our opportunity that really you haven't seen in other consumer products is to be able to develop things that target use occasions based off of the actual effects of the products.